guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about a very important aspect of lockdown, that is about food planning and estimation during quarantine. Okay, so yeah, we all cannot live without food, and that is perhaps one of the first things that comes into mind when we talk of lockdown, that okay, what are we gonna eat, how we are gonna survive. Okay, as you all know, that the balanced diet that we consume composes of a few major components. Okay, the first is our carbohydrates, because they provide us energy. It can be in the form of cereals, it can be in the form of sugars and other things in the form of starch. And the second important thing are proteins. Okay, so proteins are basically the building blocks of our body. They are there in our muscles, they form the organs, and most pathways are governed by proteins. They are, of course, lots and lots of most of the enzymes are proteinaceous in nature, so you need a lot of proteins, and this you can obtain from a number of things, a number of food products, such as from pulses, lentils, from milk, from a number of non-vegetarian sources as well, from meat to fish to egg. Okay, thirdly, we need fats as well. So yeah, everybody is going to tell you that fats are bad. Yes, they are, if they are, of course, to a higher extent as compared to your body weight. But we also need a basic amount of fat in our bodies, because as we discussed earlier, even our cell walls have fat in them, lipids in them. So you need fat for that. A lot of hormones are also lipid based, and you need even some amount of adipose tissue in your body to provide the act as a mechanical shock absorber for your internal organs. So not all fats are bad. Of course, you need to control how much of, even cholesterol are important pathways, they are part of important pathways, but you need to know what are good cholesterol, what are good fats, and then consume it. Okay, fourthly, though we need them in lesser amounts, we need vitamins and minerals to run the different processes that we have. We need various metals in our body as well. So and lastly but not least, you need water adequately, because our body is mostly composed of water, and fibers as well, to run your system in a balanced manner. So whenever we are talking of planning our food habits during a lockdown, we have to basically estimate for what time we are planning, like for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on the area you are staying, and also in what amount. So for example, in my family, we estimated that for a particular meal we consume around 100 grams of carbohydrates in the form of rice or atta or flour, etc. So in your family it might vary, so have a rough estimation combined with, say, 50 grams of your pulses and some part of your protein in the form of eggs or paneer or any cheese or anything. So you can calculate accordingly. Calculate for each meal, multiply that by 2 or 3 times that you eat, and then calculate for your whole family. Okay, so you have a rough estimation of how much you need to buy at one go to last you for 2-3 weeks, and that's very important. Okay, because if you don't calculate that, what will happen is that either you will end up buying more, which will not be consumed, and they are bound to go bad, or else you will buy less and you have to go do multiple trips to the market, which is not good at this point, because more trips means more exposure. Always make sure that only one person from your family goes to the market. Generally, I would say avoid sending elderly people, because they are more prone to the disease, prone to infections, but one person should go at a time, because the more persons means the more exposure. Yeah, 1 or 2, 3 trips in one day will actually help you a lot in minimizing the work afterwards. I'll discuss that later. So coming to the food products that we eat, it can be broadly divided into 2 categories. One are the perishables and the others are the non-perishables. So the perishable items basically means things which rot easily, even if some of them can be stored in refrigerators, and if you don't have a refrigerator, they have to be stored outside, of course, in a cool place or something. So this consists of vegetables, fruits, of course, and also some materials such as meat and fish, and also eggs. They can spoil easily, but of course the eggs can stay a bit longer time. Raw fish or raw meat can spoil faster accordingly. And non-perishable basically include all your dry food products. that includes your cereals, your flour, your rice, the lentils that you consume, spices, and everything. Okay, so the idea is to, when you segregate, when you come from a market, make sure you have a proper storage of the perishable ones first, and most importantly, use the perishable ones earlier, because the more you delay, one, they will rot, you will have a huge waste of money if they rot, and the more time it goes for perishable, even their nutritional quality decreases. So make sure if you have some vegetables, cook it up earlier in the week, and in the later part you can change this, like if you need one dish for your lunch and your dinner, or 2 dishes, so you can have like some dry products like some dal, some lentils, or say like beans, seeds, and everything, so that you can compensate for this. Even a lot of lentils do have a lot of minerals and vitamins in them. So, and coming to the non-perishable parts, as I was telling you, have whole grains, you have nuts, which are beautiful, like enriched sources of proteins and minerals. You also have a lot of spices which we eat, which we should eat. We'll also talk about it. So yeah, these are important things, and they should be stored really carefully. If possible, you can also put some clove seeds, cloves in there to prevent, or some even camphor in some cases, to prevent the spoilage of it. Okay, and we should, as I was telling, that we need oils as well, because oils are to some extent are good. So make sure you have good quality oils. Avoid refined oils to some extent at this stage, because many of them might not be good for your health. Like go for more natural options, like you can use mustard oil or olive oil. And also, if you are suffering from high cholesterol level, please consult your doctor what kind of oils should be, or butter or ghee you should use at this point of time, because of course, as I was telling, the medical fraternity is really burdened at this point. You don't want to go to the hospital for unnecessary reasons. So yeah, there was another thing that I would talk at this point. When is that the shopping arrives, there's a huge load of tasks that we do, and I urge you to do that as well. I don't know if you have seen the government guidelines or not, that whenever something arrives from the market, because since they have a lot of exposure, they might be touched by a lot of people, they might be contaminated. Make sure the person who comes from outside washes his or her hands immediately. Let them change, let them have a shower immediately if it is possible, to wash off as much as possible. And then whatever is like obtained as a part of the shopping, the dry things you can basically wash, like packets of plastic packets with biscuits or anything, you can simply wash in some soapy water and let it dry. For fruits and vegetables, it's a little debatable whether you should wash it in soap water or not, because they might have some remnants which might be harmful, or they might leave an aftertaste. In that case, you can also use like baking soda to some extent with warm water. Just wash it quickly. You don't need to boil it right now, because most of the foods that we eat are mostly boiled. Okay, try to have more boiled food rather than having raw vegetables and salads, because you cannot actually ensure all the time how much they are washed or cleaned. So yeah, cleaning of every item that comes to your to your home is utmost important. Wash your hands and make sure even the clothes that the person is wearing is cleaned immediately. Okay, and also I'll talk a little bit about immunity boosting foods, because at this point we really need that in the longer run as well. So it's not something that you can pop and develop in a day. It takes months, sometimes years to do that, and for that it is important to have certain food products in your diet, as well as follow certain lifestyle choices. So in case of food, what is touted as the most important thing to boost your immunity is vitamin C rich foods, which includes citrus fruits like lemon or grapefruit, or in fact almost all fruits have most kind of citrus part of it. If you don't get as much of fruits or they are finished, you can have vegetables as well. Vegetables, in addition to giving you vitamins, some of them are even rich in vitamin C, like you can have tomatoes as well. They also give you fiber, which really takes care of your digestive system, I'd say. So yeah, you should have a lot of other immunity boosting things which are commonly used as homemade remedies. Have honey, have ginger, garlic, all this, and all pepper in your food. So all this actually contribute to making your food more, strengthening your food for better immunity. There are also other products as well which we all know. I think turmeric is one of them because it's an antiseptic, it's an antibacterial. Like I also consume the turmeric first thing in the morning, like the raw turmeric. We also add it in a lot of food products in most of Indian cuisines. And of course the lifestyle is a big thing. For all these years we never actually thought about how our lifestyle choices can actually help in our disease conditions. We have been used to eating junk foods, we have been used to eating, sleeping late, and not exercising, everything. So it's, I think, time to change that. We should have a healthy lifestyle. If not exercise, you can walk, involve yourself in some activity, do household chores, which are very, very important at this point to help you out and also to improve your health. Have a good sleeping habit and eat good food. And no matter what happens, we are all going through a situation where there is going to be, if not now, a dearth of food. So please do not waste food. You can have as much as you want, cook that much. Do not throw them away, and in case you have to give it to animals in your if they are stray animals, they are also like not getting enough food, and it can really help. But first of all, do not waste any food. Even I was seeing like there are some recipes where you can use even the outer part of the peels, the vegetable peels, and they can also be consumed as dishes. So even if you don't go to that extent, as I said, calculate, manage, and you can come up with a good reasonable plan for your family to have enough food and not waste it. So thank you for watching. Stay home and stay safe.